What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This is my review for Housewives of Potomac Season 9, Episode 2. So we start out where we left off in the last episode where Mia is crying in the bathroom because Giselle said that she didn't protect her children and things of that nature. Giselle gives Wendy a bucket hat saying that their relationship has kind of been in the dumpster. And, I sort of kind of get that. So, that's understandable. But she tells Wendy that she wants to meet up with her for lunch on the next day. And I'm thinking, I don't know how I feel about where this is going. So we get to the lunch with Giselle and Wendy. Wendy comes with her feathers. She's looking amazing as usual. And Giselle wants to clear the air. She wants to get on the right foot with Wendy. And I have a feeling that this has something to do with production, telling Giselle that she has to do better. And I feel like she's doing a decent job at doing that. I feel like I can try to give Giselle a clean slate. I don't know if I can necessarily do that all the way because she's been so unlikable in every single season, actually, of Housewives of Potomac, at least that I've seen. I've been watching since season 7, and she has not been likable whatsoever. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. But Giselle says that she doesn't like the fact that Wendy tends to talk down to people when they're coming for her. And Wendy's like, well, when people come to me with the BS, I'm going to respond. And she tells Giselle that she can't police the way that people respond to them when, you bring the BS to their front door. So I completely understand that. So we'll see where Giselle and Wendy go from here. I don't know if I would enjoy seeing them as friends. I don't think they'll definitely never be as close as Giselle and Robin were. But I don't know how I'm going to feel about Wendy and Giselle being buddy buddy. They said that they will never be besties, which I can clearly see. I think everyone can see that they will never be the best of friends, but at least they're in a place where they can be cordial with one another and at least be friendly with one another and not be at each other's necks all the time. So I guess that would be somewhat refreshing to see, but we'll see where it goes from here. Anyways, we then see Stacy with her children. Stacy with her daughter. She tells us that she's still living with her husband, who she's getting a divorce from. She has also an apartment in DC, and she said that her daughter does not know that her parents are going to be getting divorced. And this takes me back to 90 Day Fiance, where a lot of those couples tend to hide things from their family members. They tend to hide things from their close loved ones, and they're just waiting for the right time. And I don't know if later on down the line would be the right time to tell your daughter that you're getting divorced and to tell her that you are divorced when everything has gone through, when you figured out your whole living situation, when everything is kind of in place. Like I get why people do that. I get why people want to make sure that everything is copacetic before you make an announcement or make a decision to do something that is going to be permanent. So it is what it is. But Stacy then goes out with Ashley and they have a walk. She meets Ashley meets Stacy's dog, and Stacy says that she is dating someone new, as well as her soon to be ex-husband is dating outside of their what's going to be a no longer marriage. And she has a significant other, and they are not having sexual relations. He is a very devout Christian, and so he does not want to have sex until they're married. And I think that is very admirable for people who want to be dedicated to a particular religion or a particular belief, and just go by the book as far as that's concerned. And so I find that very admirable, and I would hope that she would be happy with her decision, and hopefully they will get to the point to where they do get married. But of course, she has to be divorced first. So there's that. But we then get Giselle and Karen. Karen got an Uber to Giselle's house, and they're talking about the Inquisition party that Karen calls it. And Giselle's like, "Who's being Inquisitioned?" And Karen was like, "Me, okay." And so apparently Karen is going to have an event on the same day as this GNA event that is going on. And Karen says she doesn't even know what time the event's supposed to start, which I'm not sure if that's necessarily true. Karen likes to, skate around the truth at times to make it more convenient for her and her storyline, which I guess I can respect. Karen is an OG in this reality TV game, so it is what it is. We can only accept whatever it is that she gives us. So there's that. So they've Karen said that she would try to make it to Giselle's event. Um, Once again, not sure exactly how true that statement was, especially considering what happened later on in the episode. And so Giselle says this event is not only a GNA event, but it's an event to bring awareness to brain tumors. Of course, unfortunately, Giselle's father died of a brain tumor. He was tested with a CAT scan, and then 12 days later, unfortunately, he passed from that brain tumor. So I definitely understand how important this would be for Giselle to have all the girls to support her in this endeavor. However, I am a little bit confused as to how GNA has anything to do with brain cancer. I guess if you want to put the two together, I guess that could work, but that was a little bit confusing for me. I didn't really understand how the two are related, but it is what it is. But the girls get into a van and they're heading towards Karen's event. Vivian shows up to the GNA event, and everything's all copacetic. Jacqueline shows up to the GNA event as well, and all the other girls are going to Karen's event, and so Karen is being honored. Now, Giselle did say in her confessional that she saw the list of people who were going to be honored at this event, and Karen was not on the list, and so she's alleging that Karen called up and said, "Hey, y'all wanna give me an award too?" So I thought that was pretty interesting. But anyway, so the girls they're on their way to Karen's event, and they're like, "Well, how far away is Giselle's event from Karen's event?" And they said it's approximately, I think they said it was 20 minutes or so. And so they go to Karen's event, they say hi, and Mia and a couple of the other girls. They say that they're going to they're going to go over to Giselle's event. But I did forget Kay, our new housewife. Kay was the one that was assaulted at the GNA event for the previous season. And she's very good friends with Karen. So I'd love to see that they're on the good foot. I love to see that they're getting along. And Kay is not interested in going to another GNA event because of what happened last season. So Wendy and Kay, they're going to stay at Karen's event because by the time that Mia and her friends had left, Karen had not received her award yet. And Wendy said, "The reason why I'm here is to see Karen get this award." And so, of course, Wendy is going to stay at Karen's event, which I don't blame her at all. Why would she want to go support Giselle for anything that she's doing? No matter what it's supposed to be. I understand that this is dedicated to her father. And I feel like Giselle added that in to make her event seem more important and make it so that she could shame the girls for not coming to support her while she's honoring her father. That's just my personal opinion. But once the girls, Mia and her friends, show up at Giselle's event, Giselle calls for security. William! Circa takes me back to Karen kicking Robin and Giselle out of her event for coming to her event in jeans a couple of seasons ago, saying that they wanted to have a conversation with her concerning something that was going on with them in the past. And so I thought that was extremely interesting. So we'll see what happens on the next episode. This season has been pretty decent. It's been very heavy on the shade, but very light on the back and forth. Very light on the real big issues that we typically would see in Housewives of Potomac. But I'm excited to see what happens in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this review. Make sure you check out my next review for episode 3. Peace out, y'all.